They rigged us in 2023. Shame on them. If they rig us again in 2027, it will be shame on us. I just want to remind us of one saying, that yesterday died last night, and that we cannot carry the momentum of the past into the present. Otherwise, it's going to affect our future. I know all of us were pained at what happened in 2023. There are people who were in their 70s and that was their first time of voting. And I feel your pain. We did everything that we could have done. We trusted the system. We stayed on. And yet, the election was rigged. It's painful. But guess what? The result at the end of the day is not in our control. The effort is in our control. And when we put in the effort in 2023, you saw we got a win. Even when they said we wouldn't. And everybody knows we got that win. So as we go into 2027, let us not also focus on the result. Let's focus on our effort for now. And if you give up and say you're not going to take part in the 2027 election, what would have been done? What would happen is that you would have self-defeat yourself. We will all self-defeat ourselves. And the people who rigged before will not have no need to rig. And then they would be able to legitimately say that they won the election. Because if we stay away from the election, their people, no matter how few they are going to come out and they're going to vote. And you know the way election is in Nigeria. It's never about a critical number. It's about whatever is the first past the post. And whatever number it is, and it is won, and that's it. So what I'm going to say to you is that think about Nigeria. And right now I'm speaking directly to the young people. How old are you? And how long do you want to live in Nigeria? If you're 20 now, and you want to live to say 90 years, you have another 70 years. Would you want Nigeria to be dealing with you, or you always on the run looking for where to go to? If you're 30, the same way, you have 60 more years to go. Do the maths. And so therefore, no matter the anger you felt at what happened in 2023, this is the time to bring that anger and put it together and say never again. Never again would our votes be rigged. Never again will the mandate of the people not matter. Never again will we sit down for a few to do whatever it is that they want to. This time, we're going to put in the effort. We're going to ensure that we have a win. We're going to ensure that when we vote, we stand there and we ensure that our votes are counted. I've said this before and I'm going to say it again, that when we go on to that ballot, the election ground and the polling unit, and we vote and we put our thumbprint, we must stay and ensure that our votes are counted for our candidate. Otherwise, it will just be paper painting that we do. And I will round up by saying this to you. They rigged us in 2023. Shame on them. If they rig us again in 2027, it will be shame on us. Thank you.
Yes, for me, it still is, because it put me in partisan politics. And what the experience I've learned from the African Democratic Congress and the experience I'm learning from the Nigerian Democratic Congress.
I remember you said you were not a member of Labour Party.
No, I was
just
never
a Peter Obi supporter. So this time around, you are now deeply... So is anywhere Peter Obi goes that you go?
So Peter Obi, it's here in the NDC. That is it. So I'm there right now.
You went with him to Labour Party.
I didn't go with him. I was a supporter in Labour Party.
Yeah.
So
now you went to the NDC, now to the NDC.
So let me give you the way it is. One of the things I did promise Mr. Peter Obi is from now to 2027, I'm going to have your back. Your back will be safe with me, and I will always tell you the truth. Sometimes the things I'll say, I'm not a nice person. Sometimes you might not like what I'll tell you, but I'll always tell you the truth. And I'm going to maintain that. And I'm going to keep to that. His back will be safe with me. I will support him in the things that he's doing, and that's what I'm.
But you're going to leave his side, because the way you worked with him when he was in Labour Party, you're going to face your own fate and your destiny, wanting to be a senator. That void, is Peter Obi going to be in trouble? Because you are literally everywhere with him.
So I know a lot of people have that concern. I've actually had people who reach out to me. I'm like, okay, Aisha, the only concern we have is that you're not going to be with Peter Obi the way he did. I said, I can, because it's all about, like I said earlier, it's all about working smart. You can work hard, and one of the things I'm very good at. I'm a hard worker, I'm a smart worker, and I have energy, and I can take on a lot of, I can multitask at the same time. So that is going. But most importantly, for me also, the need and the desire, part of the things for running for office for the senatorial seat also is to ensure that we are locking down Abuja, that we have a candidate that can resist.
I give you one example that saved us over $500 million. Obasanjo was to visit Anambra State. In my tenure, he has phoned me. He's there, and they said, I have to build presidential lodge. I said, the president doesn't live in Anambra State. Why should I build a lodge for him? By the time I know it, they have directed somebody who had already packaged contract of ₦500 million. I said, we will build the house. Within 6 months, you will complete it. I said, not as long as I'm here. You're not going to build this place. The president can come in the morning and go in the evening. He doesn't have to sleep here. He doesn't have to sleep here, and I'm not going to do it. When the president phoned me directly, when Obasanjo said, yes, he must sleep in Anambra State, I went to him. I said, Mr. President, it's very simple. I have a lodge as a governor. My bed, everything is there. What I'm going to do, I went to his people, let me vacate this place for 1 month. For you people, you stay here. When you go, I come back. I don't need to build a new house. And believe me, they accepted my own position, but took my keys for 1 week. I asked my wife, listen, carry everything out. We'll go 1 week, let them stay here. He slept in my own bedroom and everything. And 1 week we spent in a hotel in Oka, 120,000 naira. That would have cost us ₦5 million. Why are we going to do it? We don't need a lodge. Because when people say it, they say, how did you do it? We shut down the cost of everything.